And I could also see it being a 2-0. It's way weird, man. Like, Weibo have dismantled JDG and Top Esports in the best of ones. In terms of the round robin. Sorry, not best of ones, obviously best of threes. But then it feels like other times they kind of just play at the level of their opponent and they just fist fight and scrap. So I guess we're going to have to see whether or not we're getting the Weibo that we saw against NIP on the weekend, where it was literally, I think they played about 47 minutes in game time. It was something ridiculous. Or we're going to get that team who plays at the level of their opponent when they're playing against some of these mid-of-the-table teams. But WE, nothing to, turn your nose up at, and a very interesting draft. They got Karma, which is not something we see very often, but across the board, a lot of picks that we are very familiar with. For Weibo, it's a little bit different, but still very much picks that are in the meta. Lower third here we're looking at. So I think for Weibo, looking at Gnar, trying to be a pretty strong side lane threat, coming to team fights, collapsing. There's a lot more nuance in Weibo's team fighting, where I feel like for WE, it is a lot more straightforward. It's use Vi, go forward, lock down a target, blow them up.
Yeah, just trying to one-shot someone and hoping Xayah can survive with a Feather Storm in the meantime. We'll see if WE can pull it off, if they can get to that team fighting of the game. But I think we're ready to just jump straight on into this one. So without further ado, let's head into Weibo versus WE game number 1. And once again, this is a series that playoffs is revolving around. Weibo have very much locked themselves into playoffs, but with a win here, they might just put themselves as a favorite to take top 4 with a 2-0 here. I'm fairly certain BLG wouldn't be able to contest them. Oh no, sorry, BLG still have 2 series remaining. So they can't quite lock in top 4, but a 2-0 here would get them almost there.
Yeah, it would.
Oh my god, that dude. What a voice.
I was about to say,
he's going for it.
He's
louder than we are.
I was about to say, honestly, those Gyos so loud for the side. You have to remember, W as well, they've been on the world stage before. It's been a while, but fan base still very much massive out in China. And like the opportunity here after last year to make it back into playoffs standing, definitely going to feel quite good for themselves. Sat at 7-7, like we said, a win here comically for them. We spoke about what it means for Weibo, getting them towards that top 4 finish. For WE, if they do win, it doesn't actually lock them playoffs because of the nature of the standings, but it eliminates poor RA. Poor old RA, who are still not mathematically locked out, but they are trailing 2 games. So the likelihood, not in their favor, but mathematically, there's always a chance.
Yeah, so the way it works, I don't know if I'll have time in the early game, whether we get shenanigans or not, but I'll try and explain. So RA still have to face RNG and Weibo. Now, that would put them on 7 wins if they could win. Just 2 0s there. They'd be on -4 game difference on 7 and 9. RNG, IG, WE, all on 7 wins as well. So assuming that those teams lose their series, if WE loses this series and loses their next series, they'd also be on -4 game difference at best in those losses, possibly worse. So if WE collapses, IG and RNG don't get wins, and RA can win their next 2 series 2-0. RA can still make it into playoffs. It's a distant pipe dream, but this top gank might not be, as Karsa moving in. Biubiu uses that knock-up. Karsa looking for the slow. We'll find it, but TheShy not interested in this one. Knows it's not going to happen.
Yeah, TheShy knows there's enough CCL set up. TheShy still level 2, no Mega Gnar, couldn't get in range to even provide some extra slows, so Biubiu walks out without even burning the ghost. We'll feel pretty okay about that one. And the cost for this gank is Heng on the bottom side, taking away some jungle camps, which he'll feel very, very happy to do.
He certainly will. Shanks trading aggressively here with Xiaohu. Does have a bit of a CS lead for himself. In fact, CS lead in the bottom lane in favor of WE as well. And we'll see if they can snowball that, because, I mean, the fact that you have a Karma in the bottom side alongside Xayah, you got a lot of poke, you got a lot of long range damage, and so one of the things RenatA not super good at dealing with. Like, she's really good at denying dive, but when you're against a double range bottom lane, RenatA can really struggle.
Yeah, she really can. I think this mid lane play might end up happening. Flash forward.
Flash for flash. Are they actually going to go for dive here? No, Karsa wide on the queue. has his safeguard to protect his mid laner as Heng. An aggressive flash in there. Xiaohu surviving as Karsa just takes him down. Heng, I mean, he saw the play. 100 damage off.
Oh boy.
And Karsa, look at him
Look at the
away
camera.
on the camera as the pause comes out. He's like, yeah, I'm sure it's a bug, bro.
Yeah. Karsa's just giggling to himself. And you know what? I think he has every right to, because that, yeah, the flash looked a bit goofy, man. But you can understand. I imagine the pause might be for the fact that it didn't connect, and they're wondering whether or not there was some kind of issue. Maybe it might not be, of course. It could be anything. But, you know, Heng wasn't quite there. But it looked like he should have connected. It seems like you got an update for us? What is...
Yeah, apparently Heng feels sick, which is why the game has been paused. I'm going to be honest. If I'd pulled off that play, I'd be feeling a little bit sick as well. Interesting time to pause the game if you're not feeling well. I feel like that's information that you bring out before the play, not after.
Yeah, it's a Fnatic pause. And that's what it seems like. W have been watching some Fnatic games. Yeah, awkward pause timing, but of course the play doesn't quite go the way of WE. We're back in. It's quite a comedy. Quite a comedy. Hopefully, in all seriousness, if Heng is feeling sick, he feels better throughout the course of this game.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Jokes aside, like, hopefully he's not too ill. Because, obviously, managing to compose himself. Bit of a rough one in the middle. Let's take another look, because, I mean, he just saw red. He just went for it.
No, I mean, here's the thing, though, right? The idea is that there is no flash available from Xiaohu. So if he can connect on this Q, they can 100% find lethal, but he's just... It's pixels, man. Like, if Annie has a slightly... You know, if that's a Cho'Gath, you know what I mean? Like, it hits. It's a bit unlucky.
True. The character model just too tiny, and Xiaohu gonna be very happy with that one. I just love that Karsa was laughing so hard off the back of the pause there. Oh, this is quality television right here. Quality television. There's Heng spotted it. Shanks gonna get some deeper vision out as well for their side. Heng will go for the sweeper and spots it out. Karsa super aggressive this game though so far. He's 10 CS down, and that's just because he went into the top side, went into the mid lane already. Like, this guy is, like, he's on a 10 of the gangs.
Yeah, he's looking for him, and he wants them. Plain and simple. We'll see what more will come from all of this early aggression from both junglers, to be fair. As Karsa, speaking of, potentially thinking about starting up this dragon and peel away from it, but they know there was a couple of pings from WE that Karsa is in the area. Heng is also on the bottom side, but looking for a reset to corrupt it if he sees Karsa in the pit here, but he won't, and maybe Karsa will start this up. He's got Prior in the bottom side for now, and we probably won't be able to say that too many times in that 2v2 matchup, but we'll just walk away.
Karsa, you know he's serious today as well. He's running the Muay Thai Lee Sin skin. Only serious Lee Sins run the Muay Thai Lee Sin skin. As,
you know,
Shanks, ooh, nice little sidestep.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate. There as all out comes in, TheShy.
Ow! Can't quite find the knockback though. TheShy walking away. Oh, Ghost comes out from Biubiu. He ain't done just yet. He is done.
He is done now.
TheShy just walks away.
Yeah, so pops the Ghost. TheShy's still in mini, right? And you have to remember, he is very, very squishy, the Gnar. And Biubiu just felt like he had enough range on the Q, so he was holding on to his E. I think he actually did have lethal damage if he connects the first Q, but unfortunately just falls a little bit short. So no damage will come from that. W on the bottom side, but this is all going on as well. Will find themselves this dragon. Karsa just returning to farming, so WE win out. They had that small window where they could have picked up that dragon, but the window wasn't quite big enough. They didn't want to take the risk, and WE will get the dragon, which we were expecting, given how the bottom side matchup has been going so far.
Fantastic stuff from WE to be able to get themselves an early objective. As Biubiu, like you say, an attempt there in the top side. And you can see the inventories, a drastic difference between the two players. I understand him going for the play. But unfortunately not quite able to connect it. And the thing is, TheShy, he's gone with that cult early, so he's more than happy to just chill in this top lane, even getting a plate, just playing with the range advantage that the Gnar has while you're in that mini form. You can see building a big old CS lead for himself, but it's answered in the mid lane as Shanks, 20 CS up over Xiaohu. The same can be said for Hope in the bottom side, 10 CS lead over that.
Yeah, WE putting out in the early laning phases, as is kind of by design of the champions in the drafts. But speaking of, the shove is now bringing multiple members of WE down here. Light not going to be forced to use anything, but Crisp is in trouble. And he's
Crisp is in more than just trouble, my goodness. They just one-shot him. Where did he go?
Yeah, Viol in Scat of the Week. It's too much burst damage. Yeah, unlucky Crisp. But the positive here for Weibo is that Light doesn't die. However, he's still here to get poked at. Okay, yeah, I would have done the same thing. Yeah, it's a smart op. You're not poking him out anymore. Really clever from Light there, just to use the red ultimate, just to get some of that health back now. Whilst all of that's going on, WE getting forced out on the top side. You saw Biubiu for a long time dealing with low HP. And TheShy able to get a couple of plates past Karsa also secured the Herald. So cross maps occurring. WE, even though they lose their support, not going to feel too bad. We're just getting a replay. Crisp getting one shot basically. Heng doesn't want to go onto Light, and Crisp wasn't able to retreat in time. Where does all the damage come from? Q, fallback, Scat of the Week all at the same time. Yeah, but it's mostly Syndra.
Yeah, definitely. Massive kills coming out for WE. It is Weibo with the gold lead though, and a lot of that in the pocket of TheShy. 20 CS lead, getting a couple of those plates, and Karsa getting a Herald off of his priority and off of seeing Heng down in the bottom lane. And I think considering dropping it in that top side, but you saw him go for the Gromp instead. He knew Heng could be coming up to answer the play, so instead of dropping the Herald, just taking a bit of jungle away, knows that TheShy can slowly but surely whittle away at this tower. And now we'll have to keep our eyes on where Karsa opts into playing that Herald. Could drop it down in the bottom side for Light to try and get your AD carry ahead. Perhaps even in the mid lane. Has been focused on the mid lane a lot this game.
Yeah, it has, but it's Aphelios. Surely you have to give Aphelios gold, right? You know, like it's just how it is. It's bot side centric, and WE know this, and they're guarding any potential entrance here from Weibo as hard as they can. Mid lane pressure as well now means that Shanks can move over. And yeah, Weibo just have to back away. Honestly, the way that WE are playing, they might just force Weibo to drop the Herald top at this rate, as the tower's almost in lethal range. TheShy is doing a really, really good job of pressuring Biubiu in this 1v1. And I feel like I haven't been able to say that for a while about TheShy. He's been struggling in the 1v1s a lot. He's been solo killed a lot this year.
It's funny as
having
well
a good time here.
Like, he started the year off really well. I remember being like, okay, TheShy's back this year. Like, the first 2 or 3 series, I remember being really impressed by him. And then, I don't know what happened, but he got figured out, I guess. As he's had a couple of rough series, but looking good so far today on the 30 CS lead. And like you say, maybe Karsa has to look towards that top lane. Could just drop the Herald mid here with the wave pushing in, and in fact, not only is he going to drop the Herald, he might just drop Shanks, forces the flash out. Heng jumps in onto Xiaohu. Karsa defending as Lwandy trying to finish the kill himself. Ignite burning, and Xiaohu will walk away with that shield. Herald getting his charge, bit of gold into Karsa's pocket.
Yeah, not too bad for Weibo, but definitely not ideal. As is Karsa going to be able to wrap around the time? No, not going to make it to Shanks, who had his flash blown, and that's honestly going to make him a fairly easy target now for Weibo on a potential return play if they so want it. As Biubiu wants the all-in. Mini Gnar, remember, very squishy.
Round 2, let's see if he can finish the job this time. Ghost used once again. TheShy has flash available. Biubiu jumps in. The knockback, not going to land. Biubiu realizes, once again, can't quite finish the job.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe he would go in, just try and blow the flash of TheShy, but isn't going to happen. Now Weibo, they're on this dragon, and unfortunately there's not going to be too much a response that comes through.
I thought Lwandy got that for a second.
Very, very close. But That will be a dragon apiece, and that means no soul for a while, and it's a cloud. So I feel like both these teams not going to be too pressured to necessarily fight tooth and nail over the next couple of dragons, and we'll see whether or not that gives us a couple of extra opportunities for, you know, creative look-ins at plays on the side.
Yeah, TheShy trainer with Biubiu to try and defend his control ward on the top side. He's in that mini Gnar form, but he knows All Out's on cooldown, he knows Ghost is on cooldown, so just continues to wail away at Biubiu. And this is the terror that is mini Gnar when you don't have cooldowns. You commit to a traded river, he will chase you forever to continue to harass you down. Karsa looking for Shanks here. Not going to go for the combo though. Oh,
it will look
in
great.
trouble. Oh, but Xiaohu with a double Tibbers to answer it. Lwandy to target. Karsa goes in. Doesn't even have to use his ultimate. Light trying to finish the job, but he's too late to the play. Xiaohu down now as Karsa back in. Dragon Switch was used actually, in fact. As Heng tries to get over the wall, but denied by Crisp. A bit of revenge for the play earlier in the bottom lane.
Yeah, so WE kick that one off. They look for the initial play onto Crisp, but Xiaohu stops it all with the Tibbers, and the turnaround is pretty much all there. I think 2 for 1 in the exchange in favor of Weibo, but with no objectives on the map, it's not going to mean too much. We'll see potentially how things will look for the Herald in about 30 seconds time. First one was picked up by Weibo, used in the mid lane, not to great effect, it has to be said. As, again, the Q comes through, and they just go onto Crisp. And Shanks and Lwandy are just not in a position to catch up, and Xiaohu makes that a confirmed situation as Lwandy gets blown up by Karsa. Yeah, just one shot pretty much. As Xiaohu gets collapsed on. And then this ultimate here to cancel the Q.
On the edge.
Yeah, just a tip. Well, it's like a box, I don't know. It's a weird one, but just gets caught on the side. And Mafu was actually in this replay. TheShy took the top tower, all to himself. So now he's wailing away at Biubiu at the tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, 40 CS lead. He's got his Triforce. Karsa has the freest Herald of his life with this top gaps going on. Biubiu once again tries to find the all-in. Might this time around. Needs to find the knock-up of TheShy. And flips it on its edge. TheShy with a solo kill on Biubiu.
Finally, TheShy, what he's been looking for a little while here in this 1v1, and gets himself a solo. Get to demolish here. The Herald is going down in the mid lane. So WE, as you're calling out, this is not a good sequence here. This tower's not going to drop, but I mean, look at its HP. It's as good as dead. TheShy's going to get 600 extra HP gold, rather. And now he can slingshot even further ahead in this 1v1 on the side lane. And that's not something WE need to be dealing with right now. As that's, you know, Ksante is a pick that you go into Gnar with the expectation that you can just beat up on him in the mini form for a long time. But Shy taking advantage of Biubiu winning where he can.
Yeah, this is a beautiful game from TheShy, and he's got a full. He's on 2 items at 16. TheShy drops the Tims to try and clear the way. He is going to be dove here. As Crisp comes in with the hostile takeover. I don't think that's enough. Xiaohu goes down. Hung with a nice little kill there. And a good punish from WE to catch a player out.
Yeah, I can respect that. Is it the replay on the solo kill? It is. All right. Let's take a look. So, Biubiu, knowing that TheShy is still going to be exhausted, takes a tower shot. That's the go button. And everything here hits. It's just this flash over the Q3. It's too much.
Yeah.
If TheShy gets clipped by that, oh, hello.
Speaking of, he's in the bottom lane. A great little kick onto Hung, but no follow-up from Weibo. I don't know what the hell is going on. But
how did this happen?
All ults have been used.
How did this occur? All right.
Up.
Nope. Drake is not even up. It's 30 seconds away, which means that TheShy has the opportunity to reset, then go build up the Mega Gnar. Shanks, is he in trouble?
Good flash from Shanks.
Yeah,
Karsa no ultimate means they have to back away.
Enough trouble to flash away, and like you say, Karsa, no ult, so won't be able to chase on the play. So got the picture in picture. This is what's going on. It's just an attempted collapse onto TheShy, but he gnaws out in time. Doesn't die. That's what happens. As speaking of collapses, Xiaohu has flash, so he should be okay. We'll just walk that one out.
Certainly should be A-okay on this one. And Weibo, a slow and steady win, it's looking like right now with a 4,000 gold lead. It's not over just yet, but they're looking good in this one, and they certainly have scaling on their side as well with the Aphelios. The Annie doesn't exactly do too bad in the late game if you're building for the damage, and the Rod of Ages is there. So Xiaohu will start to scale up. TheShy and Gnar is trying to go for a red buff here. I think maybe over as much control they have over the top side of the map as TheShy moves in to try and take it. And again, more reinforcements moving over to try and get this red buff. The reset surely comes through on the buff. But no, smite it away. Heng at least gets something. And a top tier 1 threatened as well by Shanks, but they just don't have the damage to finish it.
No, not yet. And I believe the call whilst that was all going on, I heard a tower.
Yeah.
Drop as well.
Bot lane tower.
Yeah, I think that was picked up. And the dragon, too, actually, by Karsa. All the nonsense was occurring. That's what it was, I think, the call out.
Yeah,
was the dragon. So
I was trying to figure it out in my head as well.
I heard the call out. I was so focused on the red buff and who got it. I didn't actually catch it.
Which is hilariously the significantly less important part of the exchange, but there we go. It's a cloud soul this game as well.
Yeah, and this is my favorite part of the game where nothing's going on, and I assess whether Cloud Soul is particularly in terms of, you know, the R press part. And honestly, no one really gets too much use out of it. I guess Ksante zooming around could be quite scary, because that's the one thing you know, Ksante is to a point kiteable, smile. And if you get 15% extra movement speed on the all outcast, I guess you can't even run away from him. So that'll feel good if WE get there, but right now it's Weibo in the Dragon lead. And also just the lead in general. They're up almost 5,000 gold. It feels like with this much control of the map, as soon as the Baron becomes an opportunity for them to take, they will try and get that one started up as soon as they possibly can. They just need light to hit 2 items. And then
look at the vision control, man. Look at this like blue buff area on WE's side of the map. It is littered with wards. This entire Baron half of the map is completely dominated by Weibo. It's like clears away the wave in the mid lane. WE, they've just got to try and face check it. Luckily for them, TheShy's not here just yet, but he has TP. This could be dangerous, and look how many great wards are available for him to TP to.
So many. So many. WE are in actually a much bigger hole than you might think. Because walking into fog is typically quite scary anyway, but RenatA, Annie, potentially Gnar, it's not ideal, and you only really have, I mean, Heng, you can sacrifice Heng maybe, but you need him for the turnaround plays, right? You need him to set up. So you maybe just have to get Biubiu in there, but Biubiu might get one shot. He's not really tanky enough at this stage in the game because he's so far behind. So we'll see how Weibo play it out, because they are at a pretty significant lead right now.
They certainly are. But the wards are starting to time out. That's the one thing. Yes, they've got a lot of vision control. Yes, they've got a lot of vision, period. But can they actually use it? They're not threatening Baron in any way. TheShy's still in the bottom side right now. They're kind of just chilling. So I don't think, even though they have this great amount of vision for the Baron area, not going to try and overforce things, not going to try and do too much. Not feeling like they had the power spikes available to brute force the Baron.
Yeah, not just yet, but I mean, I feel like normally the rule of thumb that I like to follow in pro play is, does my AD carry have 2 ions? And if the answer is yes, you can do it. And in this case, Light has a Bloodthirster as well, so even if he gets mildly chunked out, can always return back to it as long as he doesn't die and help out with the rest of Weibo. I don't think they're gonna fight, but these guys have been so LCK-ish in their approach in this game.
I know. It's been tense. It feels like Weibo taking this one very, very seriously. Remember, top 4 on the line for this team. Yeah. And WE is not a team to be laughed at. Like, I think WE building a reputation over the last few years of being one of these teams that you expect to just be at the bottom of the standings every time. But this split has been different. They've been looking good. They're on a 3-win streak right now. And that's against, you know, it's against Ultra Prime, IG, LGD. Not the greatest repertoire to have beaten, but still managing to win 3 in a row and look good doing it as well. the LGD series, much higher level, I think, than most people would have expected. As Karsa gets the kick, the stun is there from Annie as well, but somehow gets out of it.
Yeah, okay. Guardian Angel, second item. It feels like he's got one on his shoulder, apparently, to make out of that.
Felt like Xiaohu's stun just didn't do anything. Like, just managed to cast his ult anyway. It must have just been a single frame where he was mashing R to get out of it.
Yeah, I guess so. Very, very fortunate, to be honest with you. That's the kind of pick that you make stick more times than not. As, speaking of picks,
Karsa's behind him though. I think they realize they can't make this play happen. Drake is to be by TheShy and Light, while Weibo protect the top half of the map and make sure no Baron pressure can come on through from WE. But at least WE making hay while the sun shines.
Yeah.
They're going to take vision control. And they're going to try and threaten this Baron here. So to speed things up, Jamada.
I mean, TheShy doesn't have Mega Gnar. That's going to time out. That's a bit of a big timer for WE to work with. And honestly, this is going to be the only opportunity maybe that they get to start this one up. So it's a 50-50, but it's one they have to take.
Xiaohu's behind. Lwandy is going to be one shot there by the pit is used. Can't get the smite. He's golden in the back of the pit. But like firing onto this one. The feathers there. Hope escapes with his life. Yes, WE, you got the Baron. But at what cost? 4 deaths so far. Not a single kill for WE. And there's the ace for TheShy.
They get the Baron, but by the end of it, they're like lambs to the slaughter in the back of that pit. And WE, it's a creative attempt, and you can't really fault them, given where the game has been going and trending for a while. But they do lose out. I guess, at the very least, if we're, you know, silver linings and all that good stuff, the Baron's off the map. That can't be taken by Weibo for a massive snowball for the next couple of minutes. But how long can you afford to wait? And frankly, does waiting even necessarily benefit you? All it really does is raise the stakes of each individual team fight, which could be enough to make a turnaround happen. This element was massive from the RenatA as well to keep everyone in place in the pit. Like we said, not really enough dashes that can be used to get out of the pit. Light, or Hope rather, tries to base in place, but Xiaohu doesn't let that one happen when the chase down comes in. Not much to say. It feels like WE were just all trapped in the pit and Weibo happy to collapse and pounce.
Karsa actually getting down to lethal HP as well, but Crisp just pumps him with drugs. And Karsa powers through.
Wrong.
Baron so far is in minus 431 gold for WE. Not an ideal situation. There's a very even team fight here for Weibo, sharing that damage out.
Yeah, everyone played their part. And I'm sure, actually, even Crisp's damage was likely higher because he ulted so many people, but I assume that just doesn't track in a team fight.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a great... I wonder how that works. I wonder if that is tracked, like, as a damage dealt.
It should be.
Yeah. That's a
because like when you hit your ultimate and it hits a vein and they turn around and just 3-shot their own tank, like you should get damage credit for that.
You should. You definitely should. But we take a These guys have been waiting here for a while. I think that's Shanks and Heng.
Xiaohu doesn't know. They're not gonna get
now,
anything.
how much longer will they be willing to wait? Is the question.
Wait.
Oh, they didn't see it. No, they didn't see it. They didn't see it. 100%. Otherwise, they'd be pinging it. They'd be pinging it. But they've gone back.
He's just good. No, he didn't cancel the recall. Oh my days, this play is lasting forever. Nobody's doing anything. Shanks still in the rush. He's been there for years at this point. Have you seen the film 7 Years in Tibet? Well, we've got Shanks 7 years in the bot lane brush.
Still here.
They're moving towards him. Nobody's going. Surely this is it now. There's the combo we worked out! Let's go, Shanks! It was all worth it in the end.
Dude, Xiaohu has to be so confused about how long he's been waiting there. That was like 2 minutes. 2 real-life minutes committed to that play. I don't think it's even going to get anything. That's the best part about it. It's not like they don't get control anywhere.
I genuinely aged during that play. I feel older than when we start casting this game.
Oh mate, don't talk about it. It's my birthday this weekend. I'm already feeling a little bit older as is.
Mate, don't talk about that. What are you, like 17?
Yeah. I think I'm probably the youngest on the team by like a good 2 years. So yeah.
I was gonna say, I think you're definitely the youngest on the team. We're sitting pretty at 31. No longer a spring chicken, unfortunately.
It's okay, Uncle. Don't worry. It's you'll be fine. You're just still spring in my eyes. You know, where it matters.
Yeah, I'm basically old enough to be your dad.
That's
not actually true. That's not actually true at all. WE though, positioning in the mid lane. 10 seconds until the Drake comes up. 3 already for Weibo. Good look for the soul here. Or just good look to fight, and I think that's what they're going to do. TheShy on the flank. WE on the wrong side of the lane. It's a nice little ball by Gravitum there as well. Biubiu, half his HP. Does manage to survive. He's a tanky boy. I think Weibo will just retreat to the Drake.
Caveat. Biubiu loses that much HP by pressing his Archie anyway. So did he really need it? Fortunately. Seems like Weibo are just going to get this for free. So the soul's going to go over. And so, honestly,
Jamada, I want to bring up a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Is this worth it? Like, taking a Cloud Soul for Weibo? Do you want Elder Dragon to spawn on the map when we've already seen Burger Flips today? Like, can you dominate the map enough over the next 5 minutes to guarantee that you get Elder? Because bringing Elder onto the map for WE, that's a win condition.
You know, I had extensive talks about this years and years ago when I was still a coach. And many times I would really respecting the flash. But I mean, like, Shanks is really strong. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd one-shot him. He's got Death Cap Ludens, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. But either A, not taking the final Cloud Dragon to bring Elder on the map, or B, taking Cloud to actually bring Elder onto the map, because you're strong enough to maybe, you know, win the fight, but maybe you can't root it.
Oh, Gravitum! Yeah, first storm used.
Really smart there. Really smart from Light. And that could actually be enough to start the Baron as well on the backside. Anyway, to make that long point really short, Cloud Dragon's not always the most important, so you can just keep that on the map. If it means Elder won't spawn, Weibo not going to do that this time. They want the buff, they want the stats, and right now they're on this Baron. And WB not in a spot to contest, really. But Heng,
the speed of that flash. Wait, what is going on in this game, man? WE, I'm loving this from WE. They're basically saying, look, we can't win fight. Let's just pull out some shenanigans. Heng drops a ward in the pit. TP going to come on through as a 1v1 between our top laners. In the meantime, Xiaohu joins the fray. Has Tibbers, has stun. Oh, in fact, no, Tibbers is already out. Yeah. Has the stun available, though. TheShy almost solo killing Biubiu. He's going for an in-hit while all this is going on. Weibo are happy to just keep this going. Baron will reset for the inhibs taken, and TheShy starting to threaten Nexus towers. WE, they've got to call off the Baron play. They've got to retreat.
Dude, TheShy is just putting in the work. He's got the Hull Breaker as well. So tanky in this isolation now in the 1v1. And this is what I was talking about earlier on. You get to a certain point where Gnar, when he's in mini, he just kind of wins. And at 3 items, too tanky for Biubiu to deal with. Now there's a collapse here.
Oh, the hit comes out. Lwandy, one shot here. Pumped with chemicals. Can he survive? The GA keeps him alive. Who needs drugs? It's 2 kills for the side of Weibo as they barrel in towards the base.
I think WE might need some headache tablets after this game. To be fair to them, it's been a bit of a rough one. It's been a slow burn. WE on the back foot and have been for a while. Weibo, I don't know if they can necessarily end, but they can certainly try to, as TheShy forcing away the other member. 2 versus 4. Teleport comes in. It could be enough to keep the game alive for now. But Weibo, full control. Yeah, frankly, just at their mercy.
Yep, Karsa jumping away out through the minion wave as Shanks desperately trying to have an impact, but it feels like everyone's just dancing away from him permanently. He's tried to be so creative with how he's played this game, but nothing seems to matter for WE. Weibo just in complete control. Playing is so slow and clean. And Baron will be taken. Heng trying to get a flank on it, but it's not going to happen. Hey, at least he can get chickens.
No,
not going to get that.
Heng flashed, and
Did
I'm not in. Yeah, I'm not sure what he flashed for. Like, he was. Yeah, strange one. Anyway, this kick was awesome. Good job, Karsa. I have to distract myself. Couldn't quite get the takedown in time for the bailout to keep his GA alive, but still alive. That's the important part. Doesn't give over a shutdown, doesn't ruin the perfect KDA. And Baron, 2 minutes, syncs up nicely. Oh, the stopwatch stopped the engagement. Will it be enough, man?
It gets back with the team. It's a 1-for-1 here, but TheShy's arrived. Turns it into 2, and there's a third one as well in the GA, just waiting to be taken. Shanks is chased out by Karsa. The jungler's not meant to win the 1v1, but the Sonic Wave to land the triple kill. It's unofficial, but we'll take those. Karsa 5-0 and 7 as Weibo will waltz this one towards the Nexus.
Excellent game from the Weibo jungler, an excellent game from Weibo as a whole. We asked the question, coming into the series, what version of Weibo are we getting today? Are we getting the one that plays to the level of their team that they're against? Or are we getting the Weibo that just smashes the opponent pretty much at their own whim, and it feels like it's been allowed? And WE, they'll drop 0-1 in the series, Weibo pick up the first game, and Weibo are trying to cruise to lock in 4th place spot for now.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff from Weibo. Like, honestly, such a clean game there from start to finish. And I feel like we didn't see the shenanigans that we quite often see from Weibo there. They've come in serious, they know what's on the line, and they are playing as such. And the fact that WE were having to do such acrobatics to try and find anything, like the play in the bottom lane from Shanks that went on for a day and
Too long.
And only managing to find a single play, a single kill off the back of it, and actually losing things on the map during the time. Like, it felt like everything was just out of reach of WE. They were trying their hardest, but Weibo was so careful in every play.
Yeah, I think that's the crucial thing, right? I think Weibo was so measured and meticulous that the windows that they did give to WE were like slim, and I mean really slim. And it felt like with what Vi as your only engage, it's so difficult to walk through RenatA, Lee Sin, Annie. You know, you can never get to Light, who is probably always going to be your main target. And Weibo were very happy to just play at arm's length and slowly chip away at the base, let TheShy, crucially as well, win out in his 1v1, which is surprisingly a rarity. We haven't been able to talk about much positively with TheShy this split, but did it very comfortably into Biubiu this game. And again, just a slow takedown of WE here as Weibo just kind of cruise to a game 1 victory, and TheShy gets himself an MVP, which honestly quite well earned.
Yeah, I mean, getting a solo kill looked good as well, but just dominating the side lane, getting a tier 2 very early on into the game. Fantastic Gnar performance coming out from TheShy. And I feel like you don't necessarily lock in Gnar for side lane dominance a lot of the time. Quite often you see teams locking in Gnar for the big ult in the team fights, and I feel like TheShy was in a position to be able to pull those plays off, but the whole team was just so far ahead, it wasn't even necessary. We're going to jump into a break. We'll find out how game number 2